Okay, your number 3 guy. Who'd you have?
I had Jahdae Barron.
Well, we're on the same page.
And it's a little different than the rest of these guys. Jahdae Barron is not going to be the best cornerback in the league.
This is a guy I had to watch 3 times, by the way.
I had to watch him several times as well. He's not a guy you're just going to put outside and say, hey, there's Cooper Kupp, there's Devontae Adams, go stop him. He's a playmaker. And if there's something I learned from Cooper DeJean that I was all right about, number 1 safety, he's a safety, whatever. I think this guy is going to have a role in the NFL, and he's going to be so good in his role that it warrants this spot to me. He's small, right? He's got
5'11", 194,
skinny, small frame. He's a little stiff in the hips. He's got really short arms. He's grabby and man. But to me, he's a safety who comes into the nickel. He's Brian Branch. He's great in zone. He's played nickel. He's played safety. He's been their apex defender, whatever they call it. He's going to be really special in the NFL. You're just going to have to create you're going to create a role for him. You just can't say, hey, we need you outside corner all game, buddy.
He's not. Yeah,
he's not.
I'm going to say this right now. And
he's not that.
I'm going to echo Max and say, not an outside corner. If you're drafting this guy as a pure outside corner, you're going to be very disappointed, number 1, because he's not he's not a great outside corner. He's decent. You can put him out there if you're in a bind. You can put him out there.
He ran 4.39, but it wasn't that fast on. It wasn't like, wow, that guy's flying all over the place. And I will say this. One thing we have to remember for Cooper DeJean, he was excellent for his role. He wasn't asked to go play on an island outside against the best receivers on every team. That is a factual statement. You know that, Rob. Agree with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So like we said, if we don't just do that to him, we put him in that thing where Cooper DeJean, you get drafted to a good defense and you can play this role. Like, let's say he goes to Washington late in the draft and they're like, oh, we got a role for you. It's like, that's great. And that's what it's going to take with this guy.
Yeah. It's going to take some smart coaches on defense. It's going to take a guy that we say the difference between coaches all the time is very much like stubbornness. And I hate to put him under the bus because he's a good offensive coordinator when he has the right tools and he has Tom Brady. But Josh McDaniels, he's a guy, you fit into my scheme.
Yeah. No.
The great coaches, I feel like you fit the player into your scheme. You know, you put him at the best position possible. A guy like Brian Flores, who puts a guy like Van Ginkel, who's limited as an athlete, but you put him in the right position to blossom.
Yeah, correct. And that's what I keep bringing up, DeJean. It's like, it wasn't just he's this great of a player. It's about we put him in the perfect scheme. And that's why even though one gives me shit every time he comes up, I was like, I don't feel like I was wrong because I was saying as a safety, if we put him in this, we can do this, he'll be great. Well, like, so this is what Jahdae Barron is. He fights every second he's on the field. He doesn't mind tackling, but he definitely needs to improve it because if you're going to play safety in the NFL, you can't miss tackles.
Yeah, because one of the first things I put for him, Max, I was like, he's a tweener. He's not a good corner, but he's not the best safety because he's not
like,
big.
What about like he's like a Dax Hill? Who's the other guy from Michigan?
He's not as twitchy.
No, but I'm saying like that's what he is. He's like that safety that plays like. Didn't Dax Hill play all over the field? It was like slot corner, safety. Yeah. This is Jahdae Barron.
Well, to me, one guy that popped out when watching him, I don't think he's him because this is a different type of breed. I've seen a lot of what he did on the football field, Derwin James like.
So and to back you up, Derwin James lines up on the slot
everywhere. Yeah, and then
safety.
When they're in a bind, he'll play corner. He'll play outside corner for the Chargers.
Yeah, and like that's what this guy is. He's a late first round pick, 20 to 35 to me. Yeah. That's the type of talent. If he makes it out the first round, I'm just like, please, Eagles, draft this guy.
The one thing that is very, very elite about him, his ability to put his foot in the ground and burst to the ball.
Yeah.
I think it's elite. I've seen some people like after I evaluating him say like, "Oh, he likes the burst." And
oh no, though he's got
bullshit.
He's got stiff hips, but he don't lack burst. He's able to just recover like crazy.
Yeah, and to me, you play him by the ball, closer to the ball, the better Barron gets.
Yeah, and I don't think he's necessarily like just a nickel corner all game where it's like, oh, we can just win every rep. It's like no, he needs to take snaps at safety, snaps at corner.
Mm-hmm.
Just let him be a ball hawk.
And if you draft him like that, he, like Max said, he's warranted of the pick.
Yeah.
How high? What I was very high on Brian Branch. I had him as my number one, but if we knew that Brian Branch was going to go to the Lions and he had that capability, he would go in the first round.
Yeah, same thing with this guy.
Yeah. So I think some of the NFL teams are going to knock him off because maybe they're like, oh, he doesn't fit in my scheme. Like, I'm going to have to put him all over the place. Like, no, like he's a jack
What
of
if
all trades.
Baltimore picks him at like 20?
He's going to be great. Well, they kind of already have a guy like that. They have Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, just
But fuck it, get two of them, I guess.
Yeah,
It wouldn't hurt.
get the bigger one. Yeah, let the bigger one do this stuff.
But to me, my comp, I couldn't put him Derwin James because Derwin James is a different type of athlete, like I said.
Yeah, if this guy ate a mushroom, yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's Jimmy Ward. A lot of people, if you remember the draft process with Jimmy Ward, he was a corner, but he was a safety, but he was a nickel corner. He plays all over the place. And to me, if you're San Francisco and I think they're like the 11th pick outside the top 10, and Barron is there, you pick him. I think Salah would love him.
So that's early in terms for me. But at the same time, you're like, okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get what he's going to do. You're going to be like, oh, I got it.
Yeah. That's the earliest fit for him. But I love him. I love him for the Niners. I think the Niners would be a great fit for Barron. Okay. And as far as some of the stuff that he would do in the slot and would be perfect for teams is think of guys who had success in the slot and some of the really good teams. Rashee Rice, big guy. Big guy that's not that fast, but he's a great route runner. You need a guy like Barron to guard him. Another guy that's really good in the slot. That fucking killed it. He was number one in receiving until he got hurt. Chris Godwin. Those are the guys that Barron's going to be guarding in the NFL. Chris Godwin's, the Rashee Rice, big slot wide receivers.
I agree. Yeah, he's a great football player.
Yeah. So Jahdae Barron, number 3 for both me and
Max.
So we're both on track.
Yeah.
Big dreams, everything ain't what it seems. Glittering gold, both clean. Not on my team. This organic.